Silence on the 40th floor of Thorn Enterprises was not golden. It was a weapon. It began as a subtle drop in pressure, a hollowing of the air, the click-clack of keyboards, the murmur of the analytics pit, the software of the server, soul of it just stopped. Elias Vance felt it. He sat in his cubicle, a small, still point in the sudden, suffocating vacuum. He didn't look up. He didn't have to. The scent came next. Sandalwood, ossen, and cold, hard cash. It was the scent of absolute, predatory control. It was the scent of Julian Thorne. Around him, the office began to panic, in silence. The tasks, like his friend Ben, hunched their shoulders, their faces going pale and clammy. They were trying to make themselves invisible. On the gas, the few that worked here leaped soft, submissive pheromones of pure terror, their hands trembling. Elias just felt that familiar, dull throb of annoyance behind his temples. This primal power play was exhausting. It was a crude, brutish display, and he had registered Beto was supposedly immune, but the atmosphere was thick with it, like wading through invisible tar. Then, the sound, the soft, lethal shush of a $1,000 Italian suit in motion. He was here. Julian Thorne was not a man. He was a catastrophe sculpted by a god. He was all sharp angles and soft, dark hair, with a face so breathtakingly symmetrical it looked unreal. He was the K-drama star, the C-drama lead, the unattainable idol, except his era was a killing frost. He was the alpha of alphas. And he was in a silent rage. Julian glided to a stop by Benny's desk. He didn't look at him. He looked at Benny's monitor. 0.2%. Julian's voice was a soft, melodic purr that cut deeper than any shout. The European logistics forecast. You are off by 0.2%. Ben, a good man, a brilliant analyst, was visibly shaking. And Mr. Thorne, sir, it was a projection. I rounded up. You rounded. Julian repeated the word as if it were a physical stain. You rounded. He turned his gaze on Ben. It was not a look. It was an application of force. Ben physically wilted, his head bowing, a small, choked sound caught in his throat. The pheromonal pressure in the room doubled, a crushing weight that made Elias' lungs feel tight. I built this company on precision, Julian murmured, his voice a silken threat. I built it on the fact that we do not round. We are not lazy. We are not imprecise. He was enjoying this, the way a cat enjoys a mouse. He was going to break Ben as an example. Elias' fingers stopped moving. He stared at the blue light of his own monitor, his heart a hot, angry stone in his chest. He hated this. He hated this world, this hierarchy, this casual cruelty. It was me. The words sliced through the terror-filled silence. They were not loud. They were simply clear. Julian Thorne, who had been focused entirely on his prey, went utterly still. The entire 40th floor held its breath. He turned. Slowly. For the first time, the full, undivided, arced its blue gaze of Julian Thorne landed on Elias Vance. The full, focused weight of that legendary alpha era, the one that broke competitors and sent rivals scrambling, showed in on him. It felt like a cool breeze. Ellie just looked back at him, his gaze level, his expression not fearful but flat, annoyed. Julian Thorne's perfect, sculpted brows drew together in a flicker of pure, unadulterated confusion. He was a god, and this, Beta, was looking at him like he was a minor inconvenience. He glided over a predator re-evaluating his prey. Elias Vance, Julian said, his voice a low hum. Registered Beta. You claim this. Imprecision. I ran the primary data set, Ellie said, his voice quiet but refusing to waver. Ben's summary was based on my numbers. If there is an error, it is mine. Let him go. Julian stared at him. A long, analytical, and utterly terrifying silence stretched. He was looking at something that shouldn't exist. A Beta who didn't flinch. A beta who spoke back. A small, dangerous smile touched Julian's perfect lips. Loyalty, he mused. How quaint. He leaned in, the scent of sandalwood and ozone becoming overwhelming. He was going to put this anomaly in its place. He was going to shatter him. Julian Thorne inhaled and unleashed his power. K-N-E-L. It was not a word. It was a sonic boom of pure dominance. A physical wave of power that ripped through the office. Ben collapsed from his chair with a wet, gasping cry. Saraj the Omega fainted. The glass in the partition walls vibrated. It was the voice of an Alpha Prime, designed to shatter the spine, force the knees to buckle, and overwhelm every lesser instinct with one singular command: obey. The wave of power hit Ellie like a physical fist. He felt it. And it stopped. It didn't just fail. It hit him and died. Like a tsunami smashing against a cliff of infinite, silent rock. The sheer, kinetic force of it was stolen, absorbed, and utterly annihilated in the space of a heartbeat. Eli, whose ears were ringing from the sudden noise, just stood there. He was baffled. Julian Thorne was not. Julian recoiled. He staggered back a full step, his hand flying to his chest. His face, moments ago a mask of cruel perfection, was now chalk white. His eyes were wide with a sudden, agonizing shock. The rebound was excruciating. All the power he had unleashed, all that dominant force, had found no purchase. It had snapped back and struck him. It felt like his own soul had tried to tear itself from his body. He stared at Eli, his breath coming in short, sharp gasps. Elias Vance, the beta, just stared back. His head was tilted, his expression not submissive, not defiant, but one of genuine, unfiltered concern. "Mr. Thorne," Eli asked, his voice soft in the tomb-like silence of the office. "Are you okay?"